Who is y'all to tell me what he diagnosed with and what he look like, what he sound like? Y'all don't know nothing about God, and y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that? So I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child. To be honest,
it's time to just say what it is so that you can stop being embarrassed and harboring that guilt. I literally spoke what I saw because I was in.
And Crazy's new song wasn't just noticed by the audience. When she and her small kid showed up at the church event, he was over 2 years old, yet they could see that he was still displaying the same delays that had been topped. About ever since Mom gave birth, the narrative has involved suffering, denial, hope, and retaliation. When she decided to remove her online posts about him, some people believed it was a smart move. Avoid giving the child constant criticism. But the quiet captured the public's attention. And when he eventually reappeared, people couldn't disregard what they had seen. His development had lagged. The issues were not being resolved. A doctor blurted out what many others had been afraid to say after seeing one of the most recent movies that went viral on the internet. Junior may never learn to speak if he does not get a lot of help. That hit with great force. It was no longer just internet gossip. It was what the medical professionals thought. Not only that, but Blueface's mother also joined the argument, blaming Crohn for her son's condition and denouncing her choices. Blueface's mother has never loved Chrisean, as everyone knows. Thus, some of her comments are colored with bitterness. Yet, in spite of that preconception, she articulated what many already thought, that her child might have been unjustly damaged by her drinking, smoking, and turbulent pregnancy. Chrisean's birth sparked intense scrutiny when she broadcast live on Instagram. She told everyone how amazing her child was at first, and she seemed confident, but the internet doesn't miss anything. People realized what they were missing. No natural hand-eye coordination, no coupling, no frequent head movements, and no smiles. When they first heard him weep, they were uncomfortable. Instead of the soft cry of a newborn, there was a high-pitched shriek that didn't seem quite right. With each passing month, the warning signs only become more obvious. He did not have the same natural grasping for food as infants at 8 months. He reacted slowly. Fans started peppering her comments with harsh facts and accusing her of being in denial as they pointed out all the warning signs of developmental abnormalities and connected them to her pregnancy practices. Others believed it looked like fetal alcohol syndrome because of his small head, flat mid-face, and even the white light in his pupils in photos, which suggested he would have vision problems. Even so, I struck back. Clapping at online strangers? She affirmed that her baby was safe, he's doing well. Saying, "The doctor would have told me," she brushed the claims off as hate. Nevertheless, the receipts did not add up. The diagnosis of my child was made on the
and diagnosed my baby on the internet. My baby is healthy. They would have told me he had syndrome. He's healthy, bro. Just because that picture wasn't that cute doesn't mean I can diagnose my baby on the internet. That shit is wild.
For someone who keeps track of everything, every triumph, every conflict, every goal, why weren't there any posts showing the doctor's assurance? Why doesn't there exist any video? Proof of his excellent health? Blueface, who isn't exactly the parent of the year, publicly called her out for delaying their son's surgery to repair a hernia. As if nothing had happened, he publicly reprimanded her before she posted about his recovery, at which point she completed it. On his first birthday, she shared a video of the baby trying to walk, but instead of calming critics, it fueled the debate. They realized that there was no one there. Nothing like walking, talking, or laughing that toddlers usually begin to do. She even shared what fans had been thinking behind the scenes with her own former closest friend. Chrisean suffers from severe denial. Possibly the worst danger of all is that denial. Because without acknowledging that there is a problem, a parent cannot give their child the much-needed help. This situation hurts so deeply because of it.
When people are in denial of stuff, it's like you can't help people when they're in denial of what's actually going on in reality.
It's not just specific needs that juniors may have. Many kids do. And a lot of them do well with help. What saddens individuals is the possibility that his struggles could have been prevented. He didn't ask for his turbulent birth into 2 unprepared parents and a reality show relationship built on disputes, threats, and toxic energy. He is currently coping with the consequences of choices he never made, though. Even Blueface's mother, who has publicly criticized Chrisean over the years, broke down in tears when discussing him. I was feeling sad at first, but I couldn't tell if my grandchild was looking at me, through me, or at nothing, she admitted.
It crushed my heart to look at my grandbaby and see that, and that was my first time seeing it.
Oh, God.
And it did. It crushed my heart a little bit. It did. But I love all my kids no matter what I told you, whether they slow, need a helmet, whether they got nappy hair, whether they short, funny looking. I love all my grandkids, but I ain't gonna lie. My first initial thought when I saw him in that restaurant, it crushed me. And for her to say she wanted to stomp me out, girl, you ain't. I can't even tell you what my mind wanted to do to you once I looked in his face and I didn't know if he was looking at me, you, or the air. I was hurt genuinely.
At that moment, she felt crushed. Despite her love for him, she didn't sugarcoat what she saw. She admitted, "I do think there might be some kind of neurological issue. No, I'm not blind. I'm not that dumb. Like everyone else I see." The internet makes it easy to place blame and categorize people as selfish, reckless, and immature. Actually, there is some validity to a lot of those criticisms. But beneath all the smoke lies a young mother who may be drowning in the fallout from her own mistakes. They think she knows the problem in her heart, but she can't face it because it would mean she has to accept responsibility for it.
I said she drank, and because I hear the cry and I see what y'all see, I do feel like there could be some type of neurological problem. I do see that. I'm not blind and I'm not dumb. I'm not fixing to play blind or dumb.
This reason, she prefers prayer over silence, denial, and action. All of that chaos traps a small child, innocent, blameless, and caught up in the maelstrom of decisions made before he even breathed. Furthermore, it weighs that much. Junior is going to cover the expense. The choice by Chrisean to eventually pull back and cease sharing him online almost brought relief to those who were watching. This was the first time she was trying to prove anything. Had no intention of taking revenge on the haters. Was not trying to provide a positive image of things. The finest thing she had done in a long time, it seemed, was to just keep him out of the spotlight. However, she sang her new song at the church function, bringing reality back with a bang. Despite being nearly 2 years old, Junior did not exhibit the usual toddler energy, curiosity, or mobility. All he did was sit in her arms and be quiet. From the outside, he looked as if nothing had changed since his last visit. And the question of where he was born was quickly raised once more. People were not simply upset about delays and potential shortcomings. In particular, it hurt to think that he was a victim of his parents' negligence. This baby wasn't born into a safe home that had been prepared and cared for with great care. Ultimately, this child came out of months of misery, public arguments, toxic love, and threats of abortion that Chrisean herself shared online. She went live while pregnant, smoked, and drank, and now it looks like her son's struggles are a direct result of all the mistakes she committed during her pregnancy. Having always been outspoken about her dislike of Chrisean, Blueface's mother, Clarissa, looked at the situation and said rather frankly that the baby has problems. The remarks she made were a mix of grief and censure. The sight of him in person broke her, she said. According to her, she couldn't tell whether he was looking at her, the sky, or nothing. Despite her deep-seated animosity toward Chrisean, she did not minimize the pain she felt upon seeing her grandchild in that condition. "It broke my heart," she said privately. "Regardless, I will always cherish each and every one of my grandchildren. But when I looked him in the eye, I felt offended. And it was what damaged the narrative most. A child who was born into a storm without his request. The reality would force the young mother to face all of her reckless choices, so she continues to cling to denial. An absentee, inconsistent parent too preoccupied with his own image to assume responsibility. In the middle of all of this, a child sits peacefully in his mother's arms while everyone else watches, makes assumptions, makes diagnoses, and condemns. For the population at large, the choice is already on paper. A little child who should have had a better chance but didn't have one is shown. They observe parents who are unprepared, unstable, and show no signs of taking pregnancy seriously. And they imagine a future that is in danger, shaped not just by fate or genetics, but also by decisions made in real time and broadcast to the globe. And now, nobody knows how to answer the question. Chrisean may overcome her pride and help him get the help he needs. It is possible that she continues to pray and hope, avoiding the hard reality. Maybe Blueface, though, comes forward. Don't rely on it, history says. That's what's clear. The world will still talk about it. Whenever Junior appears, everyone will observe, compare, and speculate. Every stillness will give rise to rumors. Every milestone that is missed will also seem like proof of the thing that so many people have always feared. Junior will also keep evolving during all of this, expanding possibly in a new way, maybe more slowly, still suffering from the choices he made before he even opened his eyes. Whatever people's opinions may be about Crone, the tragedy here is that her son deserves better than this circus. He should have access to doctors, therapy, security, order, and unconditional love. He is entitled to a life free from his parents' chaos. And whether Crone and Blueface are able to give him, that is the question that has been plaguing everyone as this unfolds. Ultimately, no matter how much the internet discusses, fans criticize, doctors speculate, or family members assign blame, nobody will ultimately endure the consequences the way Junior himself will.